Greetings to you. Greetings and welcome to Uncensored Guyana. I am Dr. Prasad. It's good to be here with you. There is always a delay that causes the time to be adjusted, but I'm thankful that you're there so that we can get on with the business of state, get on with the business of promoting the greatest country on earth. The greatest country on earth. That is Guyana. And Guyanese living in the diaspora, that has nothing to do with the content of the country. Circumstances causes people to be where they are, and that is of no doing, of no bearing of the country Guyana. Okay? Most of the times it's personal, and in some cases political. But indeed, Guyana is the greatest country on earth. I tell you what, all of the great athletes that we have, that we admire, not we, I don't admire athletes, but a lot of you know, cricketers, footballers, soccer players, basketball players, the different sports. Those athletes became what they became because somebody discovered and molded and brought out the greatness in them. It took someone. There is no athlete that became great just because they think they were born to be great. There is no such thing. There is no such thing as being born to be anything. You're being born, that's it. Whatever you become, you're molded to become that. Molded. It took all this time, decades and decades and decades. And this year would mark 60 years of Guyana. It took, what, 55 years. 55 years. Because in 2020, Guyana would have been around, what, 54, 55 years? It took all that time for Guyana to reach that point where she found a man, a leader, to help her discover her greatness. 55 years. Had Guyana not discovered President Ali, who knows? It would have taken another 20 or 30 years to discover someone, a coach, a mentor, someone who has what it takes, the technique, the skills, the know-how to bring out the greatness in Guyana. 55 years. This year, Guyana will reach 60. And at age 60, now she is shining. Now life begins for Guyana at 60. Not 40, not 50, not 55. Age 60. Life begins for Guyana. Thanks to the best coach who came on the scene and got involved and helped Guyana to realize her true potential. And that coach stands at the pinnacle of Guyana's greatness. He and only he represents what Guyana has become. And from this point, there is no going back. There is no going back. From this point, Guyana continues on the path of greatness. What else is left after greatness? Where else do you go from that level? There isn't much you can do after that. When you reach the point of greatness, it's legendary. You are a legend. So let me pause. You think about that for a while. Fortunately, just to add on the news of yesterday and the content of yesterday, after all the information came together, it has been established by credible outlets that the criminal who shot itself on live Facebook video at an unknown location, because if you're hiding from the police, if you are hiding from the police, you don't want to disclose where you are. And those who are hiding with you don't want to disclose where you are. But based on that, yes, there's enough evidence to suggest that the wanted man who murdered somebody last year, 2024, has murdered himself. Great things has done. Whether they find the body or not, whether the criminals in arms, the rest of them who were there, buried the body and get rid of it before the cops get involved, who cares? He's dead. They will find the location and they will get the rest of them. If it's in the interior, if it's in some other country, or whatever it is, the point is, the rest of them shall be found. And let us hope that they meet a similar fate, like their body. Crime never pays. You kill, you shall be killed, either by yourself, the law, or a good Samaritan. We need to celebrate when justice is served in this way. We need to celebrate because these elements, they don't belong to society. There is no way that these elements can be a part of the Guyanese community. No way. So if by whatever means we can get rid of them, we get rid of them. They don't belong in the society. Every day, like I said before, there is always something poisonous trending out of the black ghetto. You saw also where an Afro-Guyanese man armed with a cutlass registered a few blows on another Afro-Guyanese man, and then he ran away after the man armed himself with a piece of wood. The one with the cutlass ran away, being chased by the one who got the hit from the one who's running. Then we see, in another instance, a man was gunned down, cold-bloodedly, gunned down on his way to wherever, supermarket or whatever, riddled with bullets. Another black man. And it continues. My issue here is not where they get the guns from. That's not my issues. When they want to commit robbery, they would find the means to do it. When they want to commit murder, they will arm themselves and find the means to do it. So if the question is where these criminals are getting the guns from, that's not for me to worry about. That is for the law enforcement. That is for the military who protect the border. That is for them to see where the arms are coming from and how these criminals are getting them. That's for them. My issue will be perpetually consequences, consequences, penalties for crimes. That's my thing. If you step up the penalties, you reduce the crime. They are celebrating brandishing weapons on social media. They think that's how they get women. They think that's how they attract attention. They're cool. And all of these things that they've dramatized, they often see these things displayed in music videos out of Jamaica, out of the continent of Africa, out of these fourth world countries that are slummish. Out of those countries, these criminals are taking inspiration from, where there are no laws, there are no morals, nothing is going on in those countries. And they're using that as lessons to implement it in the Guyanese community. Look at Guyana. Look at Guyana. How could you have things like that coming out of that country? You tell me. Justify it. How? How could the rest of us be happy knowing that we embrace a country that is on the rise? A country that is championing so many others. A country that has earned the respect of all the world. How can we stand by and sit by and feel comfortable with the nonsense that these people are pushing on social media about Guyana? How is that? How does it resonate with you? Really, how? So we have to, the good amongst us, we have to join together to get rid of these kinds of people from our societies. Because if you are living in a neighborhood and you know in that neighborhood a certain section, those people exist, snitch on them, report them, get them out your neighborhood. Because look at what they're doing. Guyana is on the rise. Economically, socially, morally, so many good things are happening with that country, with our country. And on the other side, you have these nasty people keep painting this nasty picture about the country. So people who are watching now, they're now in a dilemma. They don't know what to believe. And more often than not, as human beings, we tend to go towards the distasteful side. Yeah, that must be it. Oh, that must be it. And it suits the agenda. It suits the agenda of those who are anti-progress, who are anti-Guyana, anti-development, anti-prosperity. It suits them. And let me highlight one individual. How the heck did he even get to be mayor? I mean, how did he get to be mayor? This mentor guy of Georgetown. Who elected him? I mean, you had the homosexual first, that Indian one. He lost because, of course, they don't have so many homos in the city to vote for him. But then you get an asshole. You went from a homosexual to an asshole. How do they get elected? That is the thing about, and this is why a lot of the Afro-Guyanese, you need to re-examine your options. You need to question your position, question your morals. What guides you? Because the PNC has control of Georgetown forever. Since the founding of the independence of Guyana, the PNC, under their racist, murderous, demonic leader, Forbes Barnum, put systems in place and caused a lot of the blacks to relocate in Georgetown so as to dominate the seats in Georgetown so they can maintain control of Georgetown politically. This is why you had Hamilton Green as mayor of Georgetown all his life. He was like the supreme mayor for life, Hamilton Green. And he was bad. He was bad. He was the nephew of Barnum, political nephew of Barnum. The fact that he's still around, it's damn. Evil lives. Seriously, man. Satan does keeps his people alive to keep making sure that they infiltrate the young ones, to get them on their side early on. See why Norton is so poisonous? So this Mentor guy, Alfred Mentor, the mayor of Georgetown, the man is a total stiff. He's a total stiff. What's with all those things on your hand, Mayor? What is it? Obia? Is that supposed to keep you in power? That's what you use for protection. Maduro had a lot of it. Look where he is now. A lot of these black leaders in Africa and all these places, they decorate with all kinds of beads, this and beads that, and this band and that band. But yet they get them. So, Mentor, mayor of Georgetown, you think those beads you have all over your hands that makes you look like you're feminine, you think that's going to protect you? You're going to hold that seat forever? Don't forget, the PPP won Region 4, the last election. Local government elections are coming up. The mayoral elections are coming up. We'll get that too. We're going to control the mayor and city council of Georgetown. Now, when we get control, when we gain control over that, I hope the government abolished, get rid of the mayor and town council, get rid of all the mayorship in the country. You don't need them. All you need is a governor of the cities that are appointed by the People's Progressive Party. We have Priya Manik-Chan. She's now the Minister of Local Government. Her ministry should be controlling all these town councils. That's what local government is for. But there's a constant wall created when it comes to Georgetown City, a constant wall. They block every avenue to help that city. And look what they did. They hire this British fool who came to the country recently, and with their help and the Win people, only focused on the garbage heaps where the ghettos are. But what he should have included in his video is the mayor and town council is controlled by the opposition, not the government. And every initiative of the government, they blocked. Why? Because Mentor and the whole PNC crew in the mayor and city council, they want the money from the government directly to them. They want the government to give them the money so they can squander it and enrich themselves as they usually do. So all the revenues from the city, all the revenue collection, they cannot be efficient with it because they take a kickback from all the citizens of the city and all the taxpayers of the city who do have huge debts to pay. They write off debts. Oh, just give me, how much do you owe? 50 million? Give me 10 million. I write off the rest. That's how they run the city. So nothing can be done. It's going down and going down and going down. And who maintains the city? The PPPC. The government maintains the city. How is that fair? The People's Progressive Party don't control the city. The mayor and city council controls the city. They are PNC. And they oppose everything of the PPP. So the councillors that are there on behalf of the government, they are powerless. They can do nothing. Nothing. The only way Georgetown will recover, because Priya Manik-Chan is trying effortless. No matter what she does, it is useless. Because she cannot override the powers of the mayor and city council. She can't. The only way Georgetown can come to the status that our president wants it to come to, and the tourism industry wants it to come to, Alfred Mentor has to go. The mayorship, the main seats for the council must go to the People's Progressive Party. The PPP has to control the city from the mayor to the rest of the council. Otherwise, they will have more people come to the country and make videos and push a negative propaganda narrative that the government, with all the oil money, is neglecting the city because the city is largely black. It's a lie. The government cannot usurp the authority of an elected mayor and council. They have to work with the city council. But the city council doesn't want to work with the government because the city council is corrupt. Like I said before, they want the money. Then they're going to disperse and dispense and do whatever they think has to be done, which don't usually happen. Look at the data. How much money over the past 6 years didn't the city council got from the government? How can they account for it? They can't even raise the salaries of their workers. They do practically nothing. The government still had to come in with the local government ministry to decorate Stabroek Market. All the other things that happened during the holiday seasons, the government had to do it. Because the constant complaint from the mayor, the council don't have money. They never do. So if you want something to blame, you want a reason to cast the blame on the government, this is what I suggest. Let the PPP gain control of the city. In other words, the next mayor of Georgetown, let the mayor come from the People's Progressive Party. Then judge after that. Then you can say, well, yes, it's the government. But you can't be on the sideline. And because you have some kind of hatred for the current regime, you're pushing the propaganda from the mayor and from the Win Party and from the PNC to say, yes, look, all the oil money we have and all the budget and all this thing, they're neglecting the city because it's black people, it's this. No. The people who have beautified Georgetown are not black people. They're business people, the business community. And the business community are largely who? Indo-Guyanese. The people who are stopping the progress, who are interfering with development, are the blacks. Because they're the ones in the town council. They're the mayor, deputy mayor, the city council. They're the ones, not the government. So please get that straight. I reiterate, the Irfan Ali administration cannot usurp the authority of the mayor of Georgetown to do anything for Georgetown. And because the mayor is a lowlife, imbecile, a total loser, a fraud, he is blocking every effort for development because they want the money so they can steal it. That's it. Give the PPP Georgetown by electing the next mayor from the PPP, and you will see the difference. Until then, it is the PNC that has Georgetown in the condition that it is, not the PPP, the PNC. But the people who are bailing out and investing to make the city beautiful is the PPP. You see the 2 days ago, the hotel that the president, at the ceremony that he commissioned, you think it's the PNC initiative? Look at all of the high-rise buildings, the infrastructure around Georgetown, the tourism attraction. Whose initiative is that? The only thing the PNC did was to build an overpass on the east bank, close to the old Demerara River Bridge. That's all they did. But as it relates to the city, they did nothing. It got stinker and stinker and stinker. Crime, more crime, more crime under the PNC. You want Georgetown to become a tourism destination? Give the PPP total control. And that can only happen when we vote for the next mayor and council. And then when that happens, demolish all the mayorship. Let everything be controlled by whichever party is in government, and they will appoint the governors of those town councils. Forget about election stuff with mayors. We're not England. We're Guyana. We're not under a federal system. We are a republic. So let's deal with that. Now, folks, forward Guyana, this Amanzo woman, irrelevant. Ms. Desir, Walter Desir, listen to me. I know you follow me. I know that, but listen to me. I'm speaking on behalf of Guyana and Guyanese. And I can tell you, Desir, we don't care whether you go to the parliament or you don't. You shall not be missed. So do what the typical black does when it comes to their employment. They make an excuse so they don't have to go to work. And they can stay home, get a doctor's report, and still get their full salary at the end of the month. Do that. Because in the parliament, Amanza, you would not be missed. You wouldn't be missed. So even if you don't come, just make sure when you go to get your salary, you present a doctor's report to the clerk of the parliament to tell him that, hey, I was sick. I had psychological issues. I was depressed because nobody loves me anymore. Yeah, you'll get your money. You're a politician. Politicians usually get their money anyway. All right, you got a few people to vote for you. You get a seat. Good for you. At the end of the day, we don't care whether you show up or you don't show up. Quite frankly, you are irrelevant. You are not an opposition to anything. To anything. Don't count yourself an opposition. You are not. Okay, Amanza, Walter Desir for the forward Guyana. Keep going back. You are backward and stupid, just like the party that created you. So let's keep it like that. Now, The next point is, Ajruddin Muhammad, what's the rush? You're trying to beat the February 5th deadline? You really think your ass is saved if you have the opposition leader's hammer? You think you're immune? You think that's your get out of jail card? What's the rush? Why you seem to be so desperate to get this title? Oh, it's the money. You want that 2 million a month. You wouldn't see it. I promise you. And I don't make promise wildly. I don't. Those folks who know me, they will tell you, Dr. Prasad, don't make promises because I know I can't keep them. So I don't make promises. I don't build people up. I don't make promises. I make no commitments. I'm spontaneous. I do stuff. But this is one promise I'm making to you, Ajruddin Muhammad, that I can keep. And that promise is you will never see that 2 million a month as opposition leader. That's a promise I can keep because the Rastafarian woman, you know her name. She's a part of your party. You have to look at her every day. And now you're trying to, you're competing now because you know your ass is on the line. No, listen to me. Ajruddin Muhammad, the opposition leader elect is Tabitha Sabor Haley. Whether I pronounce it right or wrong, she is the opposition leader, not you. You were just like Norton, a rubber stamp. They used you to fund their political agenda. That's how stupid you are. You think you're smart. They know you're dumb. They talk you into funding a movement that benefits them. So now all the blacks turned against you. Don't worry about this Odessa woman. She has issues with this Tabitha woman because the Rastafarian is better looking than her. And Odessa has to count her days too because when you're gone, they're going to vote her out as well. They don't need you and Odessa Primus. They don't need you. The two of you they don't need. This Tabitha woman has already conspired with all the other Win people to get rid of your ass. So you showing up at the speaker's office like some little bitch going to register for some handouts. What kind of a low life tactic is that? You think your presence trespassing the man's office, you think that's going to put fear in the man? What was he on your paycheck too? Was he on your you used to write his checks as well? Because you seem to be writing checks for everybody. What was Manzur one of the people you give a check? So you feel the need to just show up at the man's place without invitation to discuss what? To say, hey, Manzur, why can't you just right now just organize it in your office? Let's get this thing over with. You're using threats. That man isn't obligated to you. And let me just rub this in. Ajruddin Muhammad, you won't understand, but the people that supports you, let me rub it in for them so they can break it down and explain it in terms that you can understand. The worst thing that the government did was to convene the parliament, not the government, the president. That was the worst thing he did, to convene the parliament. Because upon convening the parliament, everybody had to take an oath. All the members were sworn in. That is what is important. Unfortunately, you, Ajruddin, was also sworn in. So technically, you are a member of parliament. And so are you a bunch of losers. You got 16 seats with 12, that's 28. 28 seats, and the one that nobody is mindful of, the Desire woman, 29 seats against 36. So when it comes to the budget, the Speaker of the House, Mansour Nadir, don't need any opposition leader in the parliament. What you need is a full house. All the members of the National Assembly, you need them there when you are presenting the budget. For that, you need them. There is nothing special about an opposition leader to vote on a budget. Nothing. If you have to elect certain constitutional positions that the law requires consultation with the opposition leader, then those appointments may require by law. But there's nothing in the Constitution that says when it comes to debating the budget or passing the budget through the parliament, you need an opposition leader. Nothing. So what's the rush? The government don't need you, Azruddin, or any opposition leader for that matter. What they need is the parliament, and that is already there. So on February 5th, the day when you're supposed to be in court and the budget is presented, you shall be absent, Azruddin, because you will be in court dealing with your extradition case. So you wouldn't be there anyway. Why are you pushing to be sworn in? The day when the budget is going to be discussed, you will not be in the parliament. You will be in the court, possibly in handcuffs. Possibly in handcuffs. So tell me, who would be there in your stead? Tabitha, the real opposition leader, will be there. And then the budget will be discussed. The budget will be passed. The resolution, the president signs it into law, and we're good. We are good. Because what is at stake in this budget is to understand that the happiness of Guyanese depends on this budget now. The effect, the true effect of the oil revenues shall be felt in this budget now. So all the complaints we were getting before, where is the oil money, is not directly impacting the people. This is what this budget is for. The 2026 budget is largely focused on directly impacting the Guyanese communities as a direct result of the revenues from the oil. Social programs, economic programs, dealing with safety, the security, the tourism sector. That is what's included in the budget. And the other thing that we need to understand is that the Ali government has been very consistent and reliable as it relates to repaying the national debt. The collective domestic and foreign debt of the country, the Ali government has been consistent with paying it back, because every debt that is taken to support a budget must be repaid. And these are not debts for 20, 30 years. Most of these debts are within 15 years. The government is disciplined when it comes to paying the debts. Every year, they're doing that. But we don't focus on that, do we? All we focus on is who got property somewhere, and whose son poses on some yacht, and who's eating Chinese food, and who's going on vacation somewhere. That's all we're focusing on. We're not focusing on the fact that these budgets is largely serviced by loans. All the programs the government is investing in, infrastructure, development, roads, all the programs, it is serviced by loans. And the loans are repaid based on the country's GDP. A percentage of that goes towards loans. The reason why the government can be so efficient and successful with their programs, it is because the government is reliable and the lenders to the country trust President Irfan Ali. They trust him because they see the IMF, the IDB, the World Bank, all these players see that the Ali government is accountable and responsible when it comes to how they handle the country's money. They see that the money is having a direct impact on the Guyanese communities, and Guyanese are benefiting from the oil revenues. The international players are seeing that. But if we want to fix our minds and our thoughts, like the PNC said, they wanted to be consulted because they wanted to add to the budget. And what are they adding? Have you heard about what they're going to add? The only thing they could add to the budget is how Guyanese blacks can directly receive financial benefits. Here we go again, cash grants. That's all they think about, how they can get a cutback. That's why they want to be consulted, so they can suggest to the government, you got to keep giving these Negroes some money, you got to keep this thing up. That's their complaint. So because they were not consulted to add extra burden, they want to boycott the parliament. I wish they do. I wish on the 5th of February, only the PPP's member of parliament, 36, shows up in the parliament. I wish. I will mark that day in history if that happens. Because we really don't need these other losers. They have no capacity to discuss anything, none whatsoever. So why do we even want them there? Nobody voted for them. The demographic that voted for these people, they don't count. They are insignificant. And I make no apologies to that. So this budget that is now on the table might reach 2 trillion. Might. Let's hope it does. When the budget is announced and you hear the budget has a capacity of 2 trillion, start celebrating. Guyanese, start celebrating, because the budget last year was 1.38 trillion. And look what happened. We got a bridge. We got all of these massive infrastructure, gas to energy project. We got all of these things. Imagine a budget for 2 trillion. You want to tell me it's not heaven on earth for Guyana? Yes, it is. It is. So I would like to see the budget bigger. Bigger. For a country that is on the go, for a country that is moving so fast, you can't have an effective budget less than 2 trillion. Anything less than 2 trillion, you will have issues. Guyana should not, the baseline should be 2 trillion. That should be the baseline. Anything less is going back to the days of the PNC. We can't have that. So because God has given us a good steward in President Ali and the best team any government can hope to have, we are going places, Guyanese. 2026 will be a marvelous year, a fantastic year. You will understand what it's like to have oil in your backyard. You would understand what it's like to have revenues coming from all these sectors. And I believe the time will come when the tourism sector will generate as much money as the oil sector. I believe that. So the local government ministry, Priya Manichan, and the tourism ministry, Suzanne Rodriguez, they have to work together. Whatever issues women have, put it aside. Forget about your issues. The two of you must work together, local government, tourism ministry, and bring Guyana in a competitive sphere so that the tourism industry can impact the economy the same way the oil industry is doing. We know what has to be done, right? Kill all the cockroaches, all them roaches with guns, spray them out, kill them. Get the real cops on the ground to go in all them holes, find them criminals, and spray them out. You get rid of them, you burn the ghettos, you get all the prostitutes off the streets, you get rid of the junkies, and we have a modern day city. Don't worry about the garbage. The garbage will go with the other garbage. When you put Mentor, Alfred Mentor, the mayor, if I got his name right, when you put him and his team in the garbage truck and you get up all the garbage around the city, you take them to the garbage dump and you dump them there, you will wake up the next day and see that, wow, is this Georgetown? Yes, you got to get rid of the human garbage and the filth. They have to work together. You can't leave one and take the other one. You need the mayor, the town council, and all the filth, and get rid of them. Whitewash the city. Bleach it. Too much black. It's bad for your sight. You don't want to see that. Everywhere you turn, niggas. You turn here is a Negro. Turn there is a Negro. No, you gotta, too much, man. Get them in the Gazarize them. Build a strip, put them there. And from time to time, you drop a bomb and two. Keep them in order. You got to get control of the city. I want to see what's coming. I want to see what the budget has to offer for Guyanese. I want to see Guyanese celebrating, not cash grants, but celebrating a modernized country, infrastructure, the housing crisis solved, living arrangements solved, grocery prices solved. That's what happens when you pump more money into the economy. Prices are lowered. Prices are lowered. You will have a direct impact on the revenues of your oil. This is the year when you can say you're living like those people in Dubai. This is the year. Make Guyana spend again. And that's what the budget is for. You'll eat more, you'll spend more, you'll wear more, and you can walk free anywhere. Because a large portion of this budget is going towards security, law and order, safety, empowering the police, the military to keep justice, to keep law and order, and to clean the streets of criminals. A large portion. So let's make sure that nothing stands in the way to interfere with the progress that is coming. I'm the bearer of good news, and my good news is, Guyanese, you would not have to worry about crime and criminals in the near future. You wouldn't. They will either shoot themselves, kill themselves, be killed by the police, or they will disappear. One of the four in the near future. Don't worry. You will have a chance to enjoy your city, your country, to wear your jewelry, to drive your fancy car, to eat anywhere, to walk anywhere, you will have the chance. The time is coming. For now, let them Negroes think they can bully people and show their guns on social media. Let them, yeah, enjoy. Let them enjoy it. Their days are numbered. Their days are numbered. I promise you that. Until next time, stand with your government and your president. Goodbye now.